You ever just been chilling with your autistic homeboy and he starts to yap to you about some random hobby of his, how he's suddenly digging up his backyard to try and find dinosaur fossils, or how he made a literal train because he felt it would be cool? Well, don't worry, so have I. And if you clicked on this video, why not subscribe? I'm trying to make it to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Welcome to the Battle of the Tism, where I pit two Tisms up against each other to see which one will reign supreme. Today, we have, of course, the fabled, the most powerful Tisms of them all, trains versus dinos. Now, this is going to be a tough matchup. These two competitors are incredibly strong in the Tism, and honestly, it could be anybody's game. So, let's get into it, starting with the trains. Now, just to break down how we're going to do this a little more, this is going to work by doing a comparison of the pros and cons of both of the Tisms, and then deciding who our victor is at the end of all of this. Of course, the final decision will be made by yours truly, as I'm the only one who can decide such a thing. Now, starting with the pros. Now, trains have many pros. I mean, after all, they're an incredibly important piece of technology that has been around for hundreds of years now. But what makes them so good for the Tism? Well, of course, by comparison to dinos, they are made purely by human blood, sweat, and tears. Meaning that though dinos are incredibly cool, the trains relate more to the intrinsic intelligence of humanity and our strength, making them an incredibly powerful force when looked at through the lens of the Tism. Not only that, they still exist. You'll see trains everywhere, and there's more trains being made. So the power of this Tism continues to grow constantly with more time. I mean, in theory, the power of the train Tism could go so incredibly far, it can't even be fathomed. Not only this, you can make them yourselves. I mean, sure, you probably couldn't make a Japanese bullet train in your backyard, but you could very much put in the effort to make yourself an entire train, which I wouldn't be surprised if many of the Tism warriors have already done such a thing. But we're not here just to talk about the pros. This isn't just a glaze contest. We got to talk about the cons as well. Now, being a ride or die train lover, being indoctrinated into the Tism of trains is quite gleeful and amazing. However, there are some very glaring cons that you will be faced with. The first and most prominent of this is you will get no bitches. Keep in mind, I don't mean this in the manner that, some people will love you because they share a hobby. No. Other train lovers will despise you. Everybody will think you're chopped shit, because all you do is think about trains and you don't think about people. However, it gets even worse, because you're most likely to have glasses. And I know this seems a little out of left field because, what's so bad about glasses? Come on, why are we asking such foolish questions? You don't want me to answer that one. And finally, for the biggest con for train lovers, not necessarily in the social field, but for themselves personally, model trains cost an absolute fortune. I mean, seriously, you love these things that are costing you so much money. I mean, really, are we going to be doing all that? That's a lot. But enough train glaze and subsequent hate. Let's move on to the dinos. Now, the dinos are pretty sweet, and the pros here kind of absolutely destroy trains in many ways. I mean, first off, dinos are freaking awesome sauce. I mean, have you seen a Spinosaurus? That thing is cool as shit. No matter how many times archaeologists will nerf it, I will still love that motherfucker till the day I die. Not only this, in polar opposites to the train lovers, you are going to get so much huzz from loving dinos. I mean, sure, all you do is love reptilians, and you hate it when a warm-blooded creature comes to hug you, but in all fairness, you can kind of put up with it because chickens are kind of cool, so you'll still really fuck with people and they will fuck with you. However, you will get into heated debates about your favorite dino with your lover, which could fuck up everything. Many divorces have been caused due to hatred of each other's favorite dinosaur. Not only this, those motherfuckers had bones. And I know what you're saying. What the hell does that even mean, Poopy Isaac? Well, cranes, if you haven't been able to tell, aren't alive. They never were alive, and they might never be. Thomas the Tank Engine, I'm sorry. But those dinos, those guys were Roman. Those guys were alive, and that is cool as hell. But also leads me into one of the first and the worst con for the dinos. Those guys aren't alive anymore. They took a big, fat L and got struck down by a meteorite. They are not living, and it is most likely that they never will ever again. Which is another con. You can't have one in real life. Though I know you've dreamed of pulling up to your high school on a T-Rex to riz your favorite English teacher, this will never happen because you can't get a T-Rex, unless the events of Jurassic Park are to be believed, and somehow that can happen one day. Which, well, I'm sorry to bring this up to you, but that's my next gripe. The Jurassic Park movies fell off like crazy. The first Jurassic World movies were okay, but following the original Jurassic Parks, it's just never been the same. Dinos are not looking up in these trying times because, well, let's be real, half of the guys in those movies aren't even dinosaurs anymore. So, yeah, that's kind of an L, but you're just gonna have to tank this one. Now, that wraps up our battle, our battle of wits, our battle of L's and W's from trains and dinos. So that only leaves one thing left, and that's to come up with a conclusion worthy of all conclusions. Which one wins, trains or dinos? Well, this is an incredibly tight race. These two titans. It could have been anybody's game, but I'm gonna have to give it to the dinos. Those cool reptilians just are too strong and too powerful in the force of the Tism to be defeated by those equally cold, almost equally cool locomotives. However, I will say that I won't be mad if you disagree with me because I'm being completely honest, it is anybody's game. Though if you do have any disagreements, please put them in the comments below. This has been Poopy Isaac. Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching. And if you've made it this far, why not subscribe?